Prepare to be captivated by the business story of the week, hosted by me, Shaheen Shan. Join us on a journey through the twists and turns of entrepreneurial triumphs and setbacks. Immerse yourself in the narrative and witness the magic that turns dreams into reality. This is Business Story of the Week. All right, friends, welcome to Business Story of the Week. Today we have joining us a remarkable guest, Dr. Mike Van Thielen. Dr. Mike is the medical director of Claire Gen Z Health. It's a groundbreaking medical company that's been revolutionizing the supplement industry. He's been a treating physician at the Boston Neuropain and Psych Centers. He's worked with countless patients who have had chronic pain, mental health issues, but that's actually not what makes Dr. Van Thielen interesting. What makes him even more interesting, I should say, is that he is not only a best-selling author and keynote speaker, but he is like the Peter Attia of neurohacking, and I'll tell you why. He's been involved in anti-aging and biohacking strategies for a long time. He's a physician from Belgium, and he's been a mentor and coach. And one of the things that he does now is he empowers individuals to regain control of their health. We're thrilled to have Dr. Mike here and to share his insights on health, wellness, and success. Dr. Mike Thielen, welcome to the show.
Pleasure being here.
So let's talk a little bit about this. So I know that now in Silicon Valley and entrepreneurial circles, and for myself included, biohacking and improving our mental state, improving how our brain and body functions has become not a hobby, but an obsession for a lot of entrepreneurs. And that's why I'm having you here on the show today on Business Story of the Week. How does biohacking and optimizing yourself what does it have to do with entrepreneurship?
Well, obviously, there's a lot to do. Just like athletes and musicians, entrepreneurs want to perform at their best. They want to have the biggest success. It's never enough, and we always want to push the limit. And so no matter what you do, whether you're an IT guy or again, an entrepreneur or a musician or an athlete or just John Doe wants to perform at their highest potential, it makes sense that if you are in optimal health, you're going to perform better across the board. I think nobody can argue that. Number one, but also what most people forget about health, they think about the body. We also got to talk about the mind. We really need to upgrade our mind, because that's the difference between Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and the rest of the NBA. It's being able to be in the zone on demand. It's being able to have that mindset that separates them, the work ethic, the mindset, the resilience, the extra hours they put in. That's what separates them from all the other top athletes. And it's the same in business. It's probably the difference between being a millionaire and a billionaire. And it's not a big difference in money, it is, but it's just that little change in mindset that can get you to that next growth zone.
Yeah, it's true. We talk about that a lot on this show, how most people are just 4 feet away from gold, right? And They're digging and they're digging and they're digging, and then they give up. Yes. Not to realize that if they just went a few feet more, that they'd hit gold. So I appreciate those words. I understand what you're saying. So, all right. So assuming somebody is, hey, Dr. Mike, I'm an entrepreneur and I'm just starting out on my entrepreneurial journey. How do I make sure that I am optimal?
Well, I developed a method called the IZOT Method, which is not a little clothing with the crocodile Lacoste on it, but it means in the zone on demand. But most people need to realize there needs to be a foundation in order to reach your highest potential, your goals, your dreams, your success. And so let's talk 1 minute about that foundation. You really need to make sure you are living your purpose. If you don't live your purpose and you're just in it for the money, or just because you have a certain degree, because Your dad was a lawyer and he wanted you to go to law school, or your mom was a doctor, wanted you to go to medical school. So what I do with clients first is let's make sure you are living your purpose. And so I do several exercises with them, but I also ask them, it's a simple question to ask yourself in the morning. Are you thinking to yourself, I have to get up, I have to go to work, I gotta do this or gotta do that? Or are you thinking to yourself, I get to get up, I get to do this, I get to do that, I can't wait to accomplish this and get one step closer to my dream? And unfortunately, most people fall in that first category, and that means they're not living their purpose. If you don't have that fire, if you don't have that passion, if you don't get fulfillment by taking that one incremental step closer to your goals and dreams, then you're never going to perform at your highest potential. So number one, identify and confirm the purpose in your life. Number two, we got to regain control of our life. Most people don't have control of of their lives anymore. Even their business. It needs to be scripted. Your life needs to be scripted. Your business needs to be scripted. It needs to be a real, oiled machine. And today it's easy with, artificial intelligence, VI, systematization, and those types of things. So we really need to take control and make sure that every minute that we spend in our business, we are producing. Because the rule that says that 80% of the time we produce 20% and 20% of the time we produce 80%. So we need to identify that 20% and make that 100%, right? So now it becomes about control, because control creates clarity, and clarity reduces all stress, all uncertainty, all worry. And once we have control, we need a plan, we need a strategy, right? We always talk about plan, putting things on paper. In this case, it's not that important to put all the details or the how-tos on paper, but at least the what's. What are your dreams? What are your goals? Who do you want to be? What do you want to accomplish in your business? And then identify your weaknesses, not because we want to work on them. That's waste of time working on your weaknesses. We got to continue to work on our strengths, but we need to know our weaknesses because we want to surround ourselves with people that are strong where you are weak. Because by ourselves, we never can reach our highest potential. So we need to identify the people that we need to be successful and to realize our dreams. So now we got a purpose. We are organized. We have clarity. We have a clear plan, clear goal, clear strategy. We got deadlines. And so now step number 3, that's biohacking. We need to upgrade not just our body, but mainly our mind, because especially starting out in business, we have all these false core beliefs, right? This person can do it, but it doesn't mean I can do it because I base my abilities on my past experiences. So what I do with many clients, I really got to work on the mind. The mind is the blueprint. The mind controls not only the body, but also our success. So we got to work on our belief system, because if there's any doubt at all that we will reach our goals or dreams, then the universe has 2 options, right? Success and failure. If there's no doubt in our mind at all that we're going to achieve our goals, the universe has only 1 option, which is a big win. So we work on belief system, eliminating false core beliefs. And then, of course, we have so many tools and strategies. We call them biohacking strategies available today to really manage and control our emotions, our feelings, and our mind. Visualization, manifesting. And then there's technologies like brain tap and breath work, where we are now today much easier being able to get into those different brain waves and be in control of our thoughts and of our mind.
So let's talk a little bit more about the biohacking part of this, because I know that's where your specialty is in. Can you give somebody just starting out, what are some modalities that they can do outside? Let's assume their mindset is fine. They love what they're doing. All that stuff is true. And I agree with you there, right? But let's assume that their mindset is good. From there, they want to up their game. Like, look, I'm 48 now, right? I wake up in the morning. I'll take an ice bath, right? I'll do my ice bath. I've got a ice bath set up in the backyard. I'll do that. I'll do my sauna. I've got a far infrared sauna that I'll hit. Then I'll do my red light, right? Yes. Then I'll do a little bit of a workout. Usually I'll go to jiu-jitsu. I'll train, and then I'll come back, and then I'll do a meditation. And then that's all before I really get involved and start my work day. Now, I don't know if everybody has access to all that stuff. I mean, I think everybody could potentially, right? Maybe not the ice bath, but everything else. Um, tell me a little bit about what you would recommend as an entrepreneurial protocol. What's Dr. Mike's entrepreneurial protocol for optimal functioning? Because I'll tell you, as I'm hitting 48, getting towards 50, I get that slump at 3 p.m., right? 3 p.m. hits and I'm just like, oh, and coffee doesn't help, right?
No. Well, it is obviously very individual. So I always help people create their own power routine. And you just shared your power routine with us. It works for you. Now, people can copy it and it probably wouldn't work, right? So it's good to have a template or an idea what we are developing or customizing for you, but we got to figure out what works. So it's a little bit of a trial and error with every client, but based on their health, we need to start at a certain point. When it comes to their physical health, I usually have three categories. Unfortunately, most people fall in the first one, which means is they need to regain control of their health because they're overweight or they are in pain somehow, back pain, neck pain, whatever it may be, or they're diagnosed with some kind of a medical condition. So we never can perform at maximum potential if we are distracted, if we're in pain, if there's a disease we're dealing with, because the body's putting out fire. So step number one, we got to eradicate the pain and the medical conditions and get back to quote unquote normal. Step number two, we need to optimize our health. We need to feel fit and vital and not be tired at 3 p.m. unless you get up at 4 a.m. or 5 a.m., right? Because then you had your day. But we need to optimize. We need to be vital and strong and energetic and be in control of our physical, mental, emotional, spiritual well-being, right? And then and only then this optimal health will be the ideal foundation to maximize the benefits of biohacking. So I want to make sure that the people that start biohacking have that foundation. Otherwise, they won't respond like you and I would respond to the modalities you're talking about. But the ones you mentioned are obviously foundational ones, right? We're talking about light and heat. We're talking about heat and cold. So in my book, my latest book, the IZOT Method, I talk about the 7 foundational biohacks that don't have to cost much money. So we talk about air, right? So that's where, we gotta be outside and get clean air. Number one, but most people, even if they clean air, they don't know how to breathe. Most people don't have the basics of breathing. We gotta breathe through the nose, the mouth for talking, as you can see, and for eating, right? So we need to maximize and utilize that oxygen to get it into the lower lobes of the lung and get it into the cells. So we're talking about air, then we're talking about water. We have to have clean water. I'm looking at my unit. I have a hydrogen infused water system, so I drink hydrogen water every day. We're talking about movement. You're going to do jiu-jitsu, which is great, right? But I tell people that are not into sports, you don't necessarily have to do organized sports or go to the gym, but we need to move because we are a system, circulatory system, lymphatic system. It needs to run. We need to hydrate. We need to move that system, right? And so we can talk about the basics, sunlight, grounding, all those things don't have to cost a lot of money. And then, yes, I mean, your far infrared sauna, I paid $1,200. So yes, it's a little bit of money, but I mean, if you put it on a payment plan, it's simple, right? A good cold bath costs a lot of money, but I always tell people, instead of investing in that, why don't you take cold showers first? Because you can turn that pretty cold and start with 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds to 3 minutes. And if then it doesn't, is not enough for you, then you can invest in a cold bath, because most people won't stick through with it anyway, and then they don't use the cold bath, right? So let's take baby steps and let's get the foundation in place, and it doesn't have to cost much money. And then obviously one of those 7 components is also diet, nutrition. The reason why often we are fatigued in the afternoon is because we eat too much. We have breakfast, which is the least important meal of the day, or we have a big lunch, and after lunch, how do we feel? We don't want to go to work. We feel just tired because we are doing our digestion, and at the same time, we're expected to do our work. And so we have to divide our energy, and that way we end up doing 2 half-ass jobs, as you will.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Your message is heard. I think most people in the culture and the society that we live in just want to take a pill, right? Can I take a pill
Yes.
and not be fat instead of exercise? Can I take a pill and get six-pack abs? Can I take a pill and work in superform? People don't want to put the work in usually. But your message is really heard. And I think that's one of my biggest takeaways from what you're teaching us here today is that, look, if your life is not balanced, if you're not a kind person, if you're not a person who practices gratitude, if you're not a person who is thankful for your life, who wakes up and goes out there and like you just told us, is thinking, hey, I have to live this day, not I get to live this day. And then you want to go and take a pill or you want to go and do something and biohack. Well, that's counterproductive. It's counter to everything, right? So first, what I'm hearing from you is that you've got to unleash your superpower. And by doing that, you got to first get your life in balance. You got to become a decent human being. You got to become kind to people. You got to go out there and show gratitude for what you have, for who you are, for the people around you, for the health condition that you have. And this is an interesting thing. Someone told me the other day, in 20 years, you will look back to this day, no matter where your health is today, in 20 years, you will give anything that you have to be where you are right now in this moment.
No,
And
that's exactly most of us have become slaves of these short-term indulgences, right? It's what separates us human from animals in the wild. See, animals, the difference between humans and animals in the wild at least is we have an awareness, which means is we have the freedom to choose our response. Animals don't have that. They have an instinct. They act according to the laws of Mother Nature in their best interest, in the best interest of their species. That's why they're in perfect health, animals in the wild. Have you ever seen a lion, a giraffe, an antelope, a gorilla with COPD, Alzheimer's, COVID, heart attack? No, it doesn't exist. So, but we have that freedom to choose our response, and we have become slaves of choosing the wrong responses over and over again, which has put us as a generation or as mankind in ill health. But luckily we have the same awareness, the same freedom to choose our response, to turn this completely around and choose health freedom and choose optimal health and choose to not just step into our superpowers, but unleash our superpowers, because everybody needs those today.
yeah, amazing. I love that. So Dr. Mike Van Thielen, thank you so much for being on, guys. If you've got questions for Dr. Mike, make sure to leave them in the comment section below or to reach out. Check out his new book just released, The IZOT Method, Unleash Your Superpower. That's on Amazon. Dr. Mike, if people want to engage with you, get involved with what you're doing, if there's supplements that they can take, what would you recommend? How can people get a hold of you?
Well, the best place is go to my website, biohackingunlimited.com. The books are there. My keynote speaking resume is there. Mentorship programs are there. Right now, if you sign up for our free newsletter, you actually get a free PDF of the new book, The IZOT Method. So all the events are there. You can contact me through the website, everything in one place, biohackingunlimited.com.
But also, I know we are working with the biohacking conference in Miami. So we will be seeing you there. Anybody that wants to see you in person, they can meet you there and maybe grab a bulletproof coffee with Dr. Mike at the biohacking conference. And if you had a supplement that you might want to recommend to people for people to take, is there one that you might want to suggest that you might be involved in?
Yeah, many supplements, but yes, with our Clarigen Z Health, we developed a safe, nootropic, all natural, with some key ingredients, because we've been helping people with ADHD, but also athletes, because athletes need to get into the zone and focus too. So if you want a natural nootropic without jittery effects, that it's a safe alternative to Adderall, Ritalin, Wellbutrin, and those types of drugs, go to trysmartpill.com and give Focus Plus a try.
Amazing, amazing. Okay, so do that, guys. Make sure to go to biohackingunlimited.com. And if you want to, I know you can schedule a call with Dr. Mike. He's one of the top biohacking optimization experts in the world. So we recommend people to do that. Dr. Mike, thank you so much for being on the show. Really appreciate all your insight.
Thanks for having me. I only can share my information with guys like you. So thank you for your time and helping to share all this great information.
All right, so here's the thing. We try to get a little bit better every day, but we can't do it without you. So if you like the video, make sure to like and subscribe below. And if you have any comments, just leave them in the space under.